I loved it. I loved it. I had some Louis, it was Louis, it was everything, and it was perfect. And he was like, hey, he's very like into like the race play stuff. But
Okay, so the beef between Marlon Wayans and Soulja Boy is getting messier by the day, and I swear, every time we think that it couldn't possibly get any messier, it does. Marlon and Soulja beefing in 2025 was not on our bingo cards, but here we are. Soulja Boy and Marlon Wayans just went at it in one of the pettiest, most chaotic feuds we've seen in a while, and neither of them held back. They took turns dragging each other through the mud, and baby, it got ugly. The drama popped off when Soulja Boy came for Marlon's parenting, accusing him of being a terrible father. Now, Marlon wasn't about to let that slide. He fired back immediately with some tea of his own. He pulled out alleged receipts, claiming that Soulja Boy had been creeping around on the low with a secret boyfriend. According to Marlon, this wasn't just a one-time thing. Soulja had supposedly been sneaking around for a minute. At this point, it was gloves off, wigs shifting, and edges on life support because the way they went for each other was downright reckless. If you thought things couldn't get any messier, just wait. This situation is spiraling into a full-blown disaster, so let's break this down. This whole back and forth between Marlon Wayans and Soulja Boy might seem like it popped up out of nowhere, but trust me, there's a reason behind the madness. It all started when Soulja Boy got in his feelings over a joke Marlon made during a recent interview, and from there, things just spiraled into full-blown chaos. Now, let's rewind a bit and break it all the way down. A couple of weeks ago, Soulja Boy performed at the presidential inauguration, and let's just say, the internet had thoughts. A lot of people were side-eyeing the decision, given everything that's been going down in the political world. It was already a controversial event, and Soulja's involvement only added fuel to the fire. Some folks felt like he was just securing a bag, while others accused him of selling out. Either way, the reactions were messy. So fast forward to Marlon's interview. He was chopping it up with the host when the topic of the inauguration performances came up. Specifically, he was asked whether he thought the black artists who performed at the event would face backlash or possibly even get canceled. Now, Marlon had a few ways he could have handled this. He could have dodged the question, played it politically correct, or even thrown in a little sympathy for the artists caught up in the drama. But baby, that is not what happened. Instead, Marlon gave his unfiltered, straight-to-the-point thoughts, and let's just say he didn't hold back. Whatever he said was enough to set Soulja Boy all the way off, because not long after that interview dropped, Soulja hopped online and started firing shots. And that's when the real mess began.
That's why I took the hat. I want to confuse people.
Nah, that's wild.
Make America laugh again. Because I take something that could be toxic, and I'm going, no. There's a flip on this. Let's make it non-toxic. Let's make this love. Because I want the judgmental to be like, oh, you want to know? And then they look at that, but, oh, my bad, bro. My bad. They was like, oh, you old Snoop ass.
They canceling Snoop, Nelly. What's your take on that with CNN?
I mean, Soulja Boy, he been canceled. Nobody cares Soulja Boy. So, Soulja Boy better go to get that check. Yeah, I don't think he had hits in.
Well, Soulja Boy didn't like this, and he took to Twitter to bash Marlon, saying, Marlon Wayans, you AB and you not funny. Shut up, ninja. Keep selling her soul and sucking the higher-up D. Marlon then clapped back, saying, you molested lil boy? Go sit your lil ass down on some uncle lap and shut the F up. Now let's keep it real. Marlon definitely took things too far. Dragging someone is one thing, but mocking a person over something as serious as them getting SA'd, that's just crossing the line. And the thing is, Marlon has always called himself an advocate for victims, so he really should have known better. No matter how messy the feud got, some topics should have been off limits, and this was one of them. People were already side-eyeing the way he handled the situation, and once that particular comment made its rounds, folks started calling him out. Instead of just keeping the clapbacks about Soulja's music, career, or even the inauguration drama, he went somewhere that should have never been part of the conversation. However, Soulja denied being SA'd and said, molested? A ninja ever touch me? They gon' die. I don't play that gay stuff. You sucked D for her movie roles. I got my ish out the mud by myself. No help, just the internet. Marlon replied, hey, it's Soulja Boy, you a grown man and still use the word boy in your name. That's what they were calling you at that event, huh? Hey there, boy. Can you do that dance for me? I'll throw you a meme coin. F out of here, Slappy. Soulja Boy then said, I can't believe I'm arguing with a ninja that dressed up like a white bee. WTF is wrong with me? Soulja Boy wasn't about to let Marlon have the last word, so he hopped on live and took the messiness up a notch. Instead of just clapping back at Marlon's jokes, he went straight for the low blows, implying that Marlon was sus based on some of the roles he's played in movies over the years.
Nigga, you try to talk about me because you think I perform for the president. Meanwhile, nigga, you dressed up like a whole white on my mom with blonde wig, blonde hair. They probably put a pussy on you. They probably took your for that move. On my mom, they probably took your for that move. Painted you white. And you got something to say about me because you think I perform for the president. I ain't even perform for that. I performed at a crypto event where y'all don't know what the fuck y'all be talking about. Compare them to.
Now, if you know Marlon Wayans, then you know he's no stranger to playing over-the-top, sometimes questionable characters. From wearing wigs and dresses in White Chicks to some of the wild skits he's done in his comedies, Soulja basically tried to use that as evidence to question Marlon's masculinity. He didn't outright say it, but the way he danced around the topic and threw out slick comments. Oh, he knew exactly what he was doing. Of course, this only made the whole situation even messier, because now it wasn't just petty insults. It had turned into a full-blown attempt to clown each other over perceived masculinity. And at this point, folks were split. Some people felt like Marlon had it coming after the way he disrespected Soulja first with the SA allegations, while others thought both of them were out of pocket and just embarrassing themselves. Either way, the drama was officially out of control. Yeah, Marlon's comments about Soulja being a sellout really got under his skin. You could tell, because instead of brushing it off or hitting back with a simple joke, Soulja went full meltdown mode. He was on live going off, ranting about how he wasn't a sellout and how Marlon had no room to talk. But then, he took it way too far, because instead of just keeping it between them, he decided to drag Marlon's trans son into the beef. And that was where things got really ugly. Soulja started making slick comments about Marlon's parenting, throwing jabs that were clearly meant to be disrespectful. He was trying to hit Marlon where it hurt, and he didn't care how low he had to go to do it. At that point, people who were originally on Soulja's side started backing away, because some things should never be used as ammo in a petty internet feud. Going after someone's kid, especially in a way that could fuel hate and negativity, was just nasty. Even people who didn't care for Marlon started calling Soulja out, saying he was completely out of line. Soulja said, that faggot-ish running the family, huh? Marlon Wayans, no wonder you like dressing up as a bee, it's in blood. For context, back in 2023, Marlon opened up about his child's transition, revealing that his child, who was assigned female at birth, had transitioned into a trans man. Marlon spoke about it publicly, making it clear that he fully supported his child and loved him unconditionally.
I have a daughter that transitioned into a son. My daughter Amai is now Kai.
Truthful.
And so
Okay.
And so I talk about the transition, not her their transition, but my transition as a parent, going from ignorance and denial to complete unconditional love and acceptance. And I think there's a lot of parents out there that need to have that message, and I know I'm dealing with it.
At the time, his comments were met with a mix of reactions. Some people praised him for standing by his child, while others, especially the more close-minded crowd, had a lot to say. But regardless of the noise, Marlon never wavered in his support. He made it clear that he was learning, growing, and doing everything he could to be the best parent possible for his son. on. So when Soulja Boy decided to bring Marlon's child into their petty beef, it wasn't just a low blow. It was flat out disgusting. It wasn't about the usual celebrity drama anymore. Soulja was now targeting something deeply personal, something that had nothing to do with their feud. And at that point, whatever little moral high ground he thought he had was gone. Like I said, Marlon has been very supportive of his child, and he's made it a point to be present and show up in ways that matter. He doesn't just talk the talk, he actually walks it. He's even participated in pride events, not because he's looking for attention, but simply to stand by his son and be the kind of parent who makes sure his child knows he's loved and accepted. Last year, during Pride Month, Marlon even did a photo shoot, which was his way of showing solidarity and celebrating the LGBTQ+ community. He didn't make a big spectacle out of it. He just used his platform to spread a message of love, understanding, and support. And for a lot of people, especially those who don't always have family backing them up, that meant a lot. He wrote, "Happy Pride to all my LGBTQ+ peoples. P.S. I'm straight, well, according to my child, cisgender male, I just love and support my peoples." So for Soulja Boy to come in and try to weaponize Marlon's relationship with his son, that was beyond foul. He wasn't just coming for Marlon, he was throwing shade at an entire community that already deals with enough hate as it is. At that point, whatever argument Soulja thought he was making got lost in the fact that he was just being cruel, even though Marlon threw the first punch when he claimed that Soulja had been SA'd as a child. So yeah, Soulja Boy definitely knew what he was doing when he made that comment about Marlon's child. That wasn't some offhand remark. He intentionally went there because he knew it would hit a nerve. And let's be real, when you bring someone's kids into the mix, you're no longer just arguing, you're trying to hurt them. And of course, Marlon was not about to let that slide. He clapped back with the quickness saying, "F Soulja Boy had a career, he could get canceled for this type of slander. Luckily, he ain't been relevant since 2007. Now, instead of getting overly emotional or stumbling into the same low blow territory, Marlon played it smart. He dragged Soulja strategically, hitting him with jabs that were brutal but still within bounds. He came for Soulja's music career, or lack thereof in recent years, his reputation in the industry, and even the fact that he constantly finds himself in petty drama instead of actually evolving as an artist. At this point, the fight had officially shifted from petty internet beef to an all-out war, and the way things were escalating, it was clear neither of them planned on backing down anytime soon. But Marlon did not end there, because he then hinted that Soulja Boy used hard substances, saying, "I'm sorry." At Soulja Boy said, "What now? Looking like you give up anything for some meth." Chilly. Talk about a major clap back. Marlon did not come to play, but that's not even the gag. Because now, fans are pointing out the irony of Soulja Boy trying to drag Marlon with homophobic jabs, when he himself has been accused of being on the DL for a hot minute now. I mean, let's be real. The streets have been whispering about Soulja for years, and this ain't even the first time his name has been tangled up in these kinds of conversations. And let's not forget that one particular moment that really had people looking at him sideways. His sus photo shoot with 50 Cent. Oh, y'all remember that? Back when Soulja and 50 were hanging out heavy and those pictures dropped of them looking, let's just say, a little too cozy. The internet went wild with speculation, and folks were convinced there was something going on behind the scenes. Of course, Soulja brushed it off like it was nothing, but the way 50 Cent moved after that, yeah, it only made the rumors grow louder. It also didn't help that 50 Cent's ex, Vivica Fox, hinted that he and Soulja Boy used to get into some hanky-pank. Vivica went off in 2015 after 50 Cent made some kind of homophobic remarks about the TV show Empire, which Vivica was starring in at the time. 50 Cent claimed that the reason the show was starting to flop was that it had too much gay stuff in it. Chilly, for someone who claims to be straight, gay people sure do live in 50's head rent-free. Well, Vivica was not about to let this slide, so she clapped back at him, exposing his secret and hinting that he had a little something going on with Soulja Boy behind the scenes.
What were your thoughts when 50 Cent blamed the second season ratings dip on gay stuff?
First of all, you know, the pot calling the kettle black is all I'm saying.
Ooh, pot calling the kettle black. Huh.
Whoa. That was some tea. That was shade. That was major shade.
Pot calling the kettle black. So I mean, but you're not insinuating that
he's
50
gay?
Cent is.
Oh my Lord, please. What? Girl, we gotta talk after this episode is over.
Wait, Vivica A. Fox. What are you insinuating?
Well, I mean,
he gave you.
No, he's not. I mean, we had a great time. I mean, but he's just seems like he's got something that's not quite clear. So
you mean sometimes if people protest too much about something,
yes,
there's the fire is happening right there in front of them.
Absolutely. I just never forget there was a Vibe cover with him and Soulja Boy that made me kind of go,
Soulja Boy clapped back saying, "Everyone hit up this cougar. She's single and ready to mingle. 1-800-Granny desperate for attention extension. I'm washed up." But that's not all, because one of his alleged boyfriends also came out to claim that he had been allegedly dating Soulja Boy for 2 years. This was back in 2010, so that was 15 years ago. So y'all know that man was not making things up for clout. But wait, there's more. Soulja Boy already had smoke coming his way last year when Tasha K decided to put him on blast. Y'all know she lives for exposing folks, and she did not hold back when it came to him. She had a man on her show who straight up alleged that Soulja has been on the DL for a long time, and let's just say the tea was scorching. But let's rewind for a second, because this all started when Soulja Boy did what he does best, being loud and wrong. He randomly decided to take shots at Metro Boomin's late mother, which had everybody looking at him crazy. Meek Mill, for once, used his Twitter fingers for good and jumped in to shut that mess down real quick, calling Soulja out and basically telling him to stop embarrassing himself. He said, "Soulja, if you say you're gonna smoke somebody and they see you and actually smoke you, it's self-defense. Y'all losing touch of reality for some likes and clout insane." Soulja Boy clapped back at this and said, "Didn't Diddy F you in the behind?" And that's when Soulja, being Soulja, decided to start another unnecessary beef instead of just taking the L. Now, this is where Tasha K came into the mix. She must have been waiting for a moment like this because she wasted no time gathering receipts. Next thing you know, she had a whole lineup of people spilling about Soulja's alleged DL activities, and it was a mess. The details they gave? They were saying he had been sneaking around for years, and that his whole hyper-masculine tough guy act was just a cover.
I loved it. I loved it. I had some it was Louis, it was everything, and it was perfect. And he was like, he's very into the race stuff. Sure. But here's the thing, I don't know if this was really him or it was drunk him or no, I'm nervous. I'm like, is he gonna hurt me? Is he making music? I'm so nervous. I go up the stairs and I'm just heartbeating, you know what I mean? He was like, "Hey, what's up?" And I was like, "Hey, what's up?" He was like, "You get down?" And I was like, "Oh, am I gay? Yeah, I'm gay as fuck." I get in there, and at that moment, I go from professional, a fan, to you're about to have sex with him, right? And that thing was big.
So now, fast forward to this drama with Marlon, and fans are really side-eyeing Soulja. How are you out here trying to throw shade at someone else's child when you have your own skeleton still rattling? If anything, all he did was remind people of the mess he still hasn't addressed. There are also reports that Soulja Boy allegedly has a gay tape floating around, and for someone with that sort of thing, he was bold to be transphobic to Marlon's son. Really bold. Anywho, y'all drop your thoughts about this in the comments, then check out this next video.